Dudes and Dudettes. I'm Jackie.
And I'm Nicole, and we're your
Holiday Dudettes. And we're going to bring you tips and tricks,
event hosting, and DIYs.
but mainly we want to put family back in the meaning of holiday.
No matter the size, big or small, we like to celebrate them all.
But you know, for our daily show, what better holiday to celebrate than
American Independence Day! So today we'll be bringing you baked beans, easy peasy coleslaw, barbecue pulled pork sandwiches, and peach cobbler for dessert.
Oh! Okay, everybody, grab your aprons. Let's cook.
Oh!
This here is our baked beans. So before we put them into the Dutch oven, you're going to want to brine them overnight with about 1.5 tablespoons of salt so that they'll get enough hydration and it'll keep the structure of the beans together as we're cooking the Jesus out of them. So go ahead, after you do that, go ahead, drain them, put them in your Dutch oven, and now we're going to go ahead and add all of our goodies to the pot. So first we're going to take about a medium-sized onion, and we're going to half it. We're just going to plop that baby in there. We're going to go ahead and put about 2 tablespoons dried mustard, a bay leaf, half a teaspoon of pepper. We also want half a cup of molasses. So we're going ahead and pour that molasses in. I am a scraper. I like to scrape it all in there to make sure all that good yumminess is getting in there. And get that off there. Okay. And then we're going to go ahead and put 2 tablespoons dark brown sugar. And then a 1/4 teaspoon salt. And a tablespoon of soy salt. And then we're going to put about 6 ounces of salt pork. And then we're going to go ahead and put in 4 cups of water. As I spilled over before, for me and everywhere else. Alright, now we got 4 cups of water in here. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get it on the stove. We're going to start timing it there and we'll go on from there. Okay, now that we see that the brew is boiling, we're going to go ahead and turn the oven off, put the lid on, and you're going to want to go ahead and stick it in a 350-degree oven. Go into the oven for 2 hours, and then after 2 hours, we're going to go ahead and take the lid off, make sure there's enough moisture still on the beans, and we're going to put it back in the oven for 1 more hour. And then we're going to take it back out, and that's where we're going to meet again. So now that we have the baked beans in the oven, the next thing we're going to do on the menu is a pulled pork. So look, I got this beautiful pulled pork. So I basically will take it out of the package, rinse all the ickies off of it, and I check it for any excess big chunks of ugly fat. So because, you know, it's good to have some fat in it, but not a whole lot. So get yourself your good knife out. Make sure you have your apron on and cut out some of those icky fat pieces like that one I just pulled off there. I'm going to go ahead and just do the basics to it, as it's going to go ahead and sit in the crock pot for a few hours. Something this big, you're going to want to probably do about 4 or 5 hours on something possibly high, so that you want, and this one does have a bone in, so which is really good. So I've already put salt, pepper, I'm throwing in some garlic. Oh boy, is this going to smell yummy through the house. Here's some onion powder. I'm going to put a little bit of chili in there just because the barbecue sauce that Nicole and I made actually has a little bit of a sweet kick, so it will actually help to complement the meat. So now that I went ahead and I seasoned everything up really nice, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this bad boy in the crock pot and put it on a timer. Okay, sometimes when you're going to feed a large crowd, you're going to have to skimp and try to do a little tricks for yourself. So for me to cut corners while I'm getting all that other stuff going and I got all that homemade barbecue sauce and the yummies going, I am going to cut corners with coleslaw. So buying a nice little bag wherever you can with something yummy tattooed. This is one of my favorites. This will go well. Nobody has to know the difference. Well, everybody else that hears this will know my secrets, but that's okay. That's why we're doing this. So you can see, and this dinner that we're making right now will also feed, gosh, I want to say at least 6 people. And you could put on as much and as little as you want. Get yourself in there and just kind of, and then you're going to want, whoops, look, see, look at that, get all anxious. And then you just mix it all up, stick it in the fridge, and then it'll be already ready, and then you got one of your salads already done. And now, all right, back in one last hour without the lid. Make sure there's enough liquid on the top, and you're looking good. Here we go. Okay, now that we've already had our roast cook thoroughly, and I've also let it cool so that it's cool to the touch, it's okay now to go ahead and pull it apart. As you can see, look, this is just falling apart. This is what you really want. So I don't even need a fork or a couple of forks. This is actually a true pulled pork sandwich, because all I'm doing is just pulling it off. And that's what a pulled pork means. So after I go ahead and finish pulling this, what I'll do is put it back in the crock pot and put ours or your favorite kind of barbecue sauce in the pot. Okay, now the peach cobbler is in motion. I've got my 13 by 9 out. I've got my 8 peaches. I've already washed them. I've peeled them, and now I am quartering them. So as soon as I get done with that, we're going to go ahead and get these peaches right into that bowl, and we're going to go ahead from there. Okay, so now that we have this all in here and they're all quartered, we're going to start adding our sugars to it. So I've got some nice granulated sugar, and that's a 1/4 cup of that. And then I got a 1/4 cup of very packed dark brown sugar. Now we're going to go ahead and add a 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. Then we're going to do a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon and 2 teaspoons of cornstarch. And we're going to go ahead and add that to our mixture of peaches as well. And 1 teaspoon of fresh lemon juice. All right, let's go ahead and get that all incorporated. And then we're going to go ahead now and put this into our pan. All right. Okay, for the top of the peach cobbler, in my bowl here we have 2 cups all-purpose flour, a 1/2 cup of white sugar, a 1/2 cup of dark brown sugar, 2 teaspoons baking powder, 1 teaspoon salt, and 12 tablespoons cold unsalted butter. So at this point here, you're going to want to go ahead and basically what they call cutting it in. And that's going to take us a little bit, so just give us a moment here and we'll have this all cut in. Okay, so we've already cut in all the pastry butters and the flours and the sugars and all that, and we've got it down to where it's close to pea size. So now we're going to go ahead and add a 1/2 cup of boiling water to this mixture. I always take it a little slow so you don't throw it out of the bowl, or well, we all have goof ups. And then once we incorporate this together, we're going to go ahead and put this on top of our warm peaches. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and start scooping this on to the peaches. There's no rhyme or reason to it, because eventually the oven and the heat will take over. And now after we go ahead and put all that in there, we're going to go ahead and put 3 tablespoons of white granulated sugar, and we're going to sprinkle this all over the top. Gotta love sugar. Okay, and from this point, we're going to go ahead and place this on a cookie sheet, and then we're going to go ahead and put it in the oven. Okay, now I've let it sit with the lid on for 5 minutes to steam. So here we go. Whoa, now is that not pretty? Look at all that yummy stuff. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take my time. I'm going to go ahead and rub all this yummy stuff off and get that into the pot. I'm going to break up the salt pork and the onions, and we'll come back and I'll show you the just reward. Wow. Ooh, each spoonful is just packed with stuff. Yummy, 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 yummy. Ooh. Now, doesn't that look good? Yummy.
Comment below on what your favorite holiday is.
Don't forget to hit the like button and that notification bell.
You'll be seeing us very soon. Bye.
Bye-bye.